I'm here now with Eamon Stack of Range Therapy on day 2 of the ploughing. Eamon, thank you for joining me.
Delighted, Megan, to be here.
So listen, Range Therapy has a variety of products which store electricity and products that can fast charge electric vehicles and extend the range of those vehicles. But I also have a big metal box here behind me, Eamon.
Yes.
So tell me what this is and what does it do?
So we call this the Range trailer.
Okay.
I'll just open it up and show you.
Open it up and give us a look.
There we go, and we can put on the lights. So
wow.
So this is a large battery.
Okay.
So it formerly came from an electric car.
Okay.
And now it's going to be used as a storage unit. And the main purpose of it is to store electricity when it's cheap and then use it when it's expensive. So we need to just transfer our energy use. Ireland generates a huge amount of energy at night that we don't use.
Okay.
From our wind turbines, hundreds of them.
Okay, and that's why energy, you hear about night rate energy, and energy can be cheaper at night.
Absolutely. It's about being smart with our energy use. Up to now, we've been just consumers without thinking about what it costs and when it's cheap and when it's expensive. Now we need to know that. So also you can combine this with solar. So if you have a large solar array, you need a large battery to store the power from the solar array. And this is what we're saying, to introduce to Ireland the use of our big batteries.
Okay, so we charge this unit up at night time when electricity is at its lower rate.
Absolutely,
and essentially it stores it then, and it can have any number of applications. I mean, we have lights here. What else do you have? You have an iPad there,
I'm
something.
charging my iPad just while I'm here and so on.
Brilliant.
And some child asked me, could I cook sausages with it?
Okay,
to bring it camping and so on. So that it.
You can charge your iPad.
But the most significant question I've been asked by a lot of farmers is, can I power welders from this?
Okay,
because machines break down out in the farm, they need to weld, and absolutely no power.
And that's where the element of it being a trailer comes in. So I don't know if we can see on the camera, but actually at the far side of this hooks up to a van, a tractor, whatever, and you can take this around with you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, and in that sense, then it has another purpose, which could be used by garages and hotels, especially for tourists. It can charge electric cars.
Right.
And say a tourist might make a mistake and forget to charge their car, and so a garage can go out and fast charge them. Like in 10 minutes, give them enough charge to get to the
we've
car.
all heard of someone renting the electric vehicle and getting stuck out in the Kerry Peninsula or something like that.
You know, and tourism is such a huge part of our economy.
Absolutely,
we also need to serve that market, so we think this is really important.
And I suppose we're at the ploughing, looking to agriculture then. What sort of applications can this have? I know you mentioned machinery, welding, but for the farmer themselves, on farm, what can this do?
We talked to Chagas about the farming needs, and it turns out the most significant one is dairy farmers.
Yes, yeah.
So dairy farmers are milking their cows from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock at night, when electricity is most expensive. So we all know now it's
peak use time. Everyone's home from work and you're up at,
So what we did our sums and said, could this power a milking parlour for a full session? No problem.
Not a problem,
It would be really smart for the dairy farmer to charge this up at cheap rate at night and then do his milking with the cheap electricity. Like it could save up to 4 times the current energy costs.
Okay, and look, we are going into an energy crisis, and for whatever reason that may be, that's what we're facing. I suppose everybody is, we even hear stories of even Christmas lights won't be on as long. So, we don't want anybody to be in the dark or cold this winter. And when it comes to animals, it's not the cow's fault. They've got to be milked twice a day. That's just how it is. So here's an opportunity to perhaps save maybe up to 4 times on that.
Absolutely.
What size of a dairy farm? Are we looking at the smaller end or what size?
So with the Chagas, we looked at the midpoint. 100 cows. We think 100 cows.
Okay, 100 cows.
So you have a 40 kilowatt hour battery, a 40 unit battery for that. It's kind of the mid range. And then there'd be a bigger battery for even bigger farms. So you size it to the need. Now, what's also interesting, of course, is dairy farms have very valuable product that has to be kept cold.
Yes,
and so you don't just power it to keep it cold, you need a backup unit.
Okay.
This thing is the perfect backup.
This is your backup.
You charge it up and it would hold the energy for 6 months.
Oh,
and no diesel generator, no whatever, because you'd have to have the diesel generator maintained and pay a contract. Whereas this thing is static. And this is Irish.
So it's essentially a large battery pack, power bank for your phone on a new level, really.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, and it's larger scale.
And what about then the battery that's in it? Where does the battery come from?
So the strategy, which should be an Irish strategy, is we have 50,000 electric cars at the minute.
Yes.
And then some of them crash, and then some of them just get old to decommission. Yeah. So the batteries out of those cars has a happy future, as long as you're not demanding the energy output of a car.
So they're reused batteries?
They're reused batteries, second life. And they, people keep asking me, how long will they last? Yeah. And I said, we estimate 20 years. It'll still be over 60% capacity. So
you're not going to need to replace the battery in this after a couple of years. It's going to last you long term.
After last you long term. And then, it's extraordinary when you do the numbers. In about 15 years' time, we could have tens of thousands of these batteries in Ireland, Irish-owned batteries that need somewhere to go.
Because there's a push to move towards electric vehicles. There's a scheme now for getting yourself one and all of that kind of thing. So what happens then, I suppose, when you move to an electric vehicle whatever happens, you crash, whatever, the battery is lying around.
There,
so that's where you come in.
So what might be interesting is a 15-year-old car itself might be only worth a few €100. Yeah. But the battery in that car would be worth €3,000.
Okay,
so we're in a new economic reality here where your old car is still very valuable because of the battery.
Yeah, so this is really, really new and innovative, and I suppose to maybe tell people, is this still in research and development? Is this at market? Are you hoping to get to market soon? Where are we at?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So this is a prototype.
Okay,
in some ways it looks nice, in some ways it looks prototype. Yeah. We think we have another year and a half to improve the physical structure and then to improve the software and electronics before we get to pre-production. And then what we want to do is get those pre-production units out into the field to be tested. Yeah. And to do that, we need support and funding.
Of course, yeah.
So we do. Now, the other thing what we do is the SEAI give grants to people to buy batteries. So we want to negotiate with them so that when it is on the market, that people who want it, for their dairy farms, for their B&Bs and their hotels, they can get a grant to purchase it because energy storage is in the national interest.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely going to be in everybody's interest. It's definitely something we were already looking towards in terms of, sustainability, climate change. We were already looking to move away from that fossil fuel powered energy. But now, I suppose, with various geopolitical events and things like that, looking to something like this in terms of in a time of energy crisis, it's definitely you're obviously going to push to keep developing this and an interesting road ahead.
Yeah. So can I tell you, it has one party trick.
Oh,
so
give us a look.
Its little party trick, is that at midnight it checks the weather forecast. And so it makes a decision. It's got a little bit of smarts, and it decides, is there enough sunshine tomorrow, hoping Jerry Murphy got it right, to power my work tomorrow, or do I need to just plug in and get nighttime electricity?
Okay,
so we think this is a very strategic use, especially because we're in a place on the planet where the winter and summer lights is very, very different.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so it's nearly helping the user, the owner, to make that decision, because your regular person may not know, that's enough sunshine to power it, so this will help you with that decision.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, well, look,
that is great.
That's amazing, Eamon, and listen to yourself and everyone else who's involved in the business, very best of luck. I think it sounds very interesting, and hopefully you get a lot out of the ploughing over the next 2 days.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you indeed.
Thank you.